Welcome back to Books with Beck. I'm Beck. Let's talk books. As soon as I set up for Christmas this year, I have been immediately consuming all of the Christmas movies. Like any cheesy little Christmas romance, like Hallmark movie, I have been watching it. So that made me realize it is time for me to dive into my Christmas books. So this week, all I am reading is Christmas books. I am starting my week with The Holiday Swap by Maggie Knox. So this is actually a writing duo. So the actual authors are Karma Brown and Marissa Stapley. I'll have to look up her last name. This book focuses on a set of identical twins, and they both have a job related to baking. I believe one works in a bakery and one's on like a reality baking TV show. I don't know. But they decide, because their lives are kind of falling apart, that they're going to switch places and just kind of get a break from their own life for a little bit. And they used to switch places as kids, but this is their first time doing it as an adult. So, of course, romance comes into play and they both meet someone. I feel like it's going to be while they're switched and they're going to have to like tell the truth and maybe it'll cause some tension. I'm not sure. However, it just seems like a fun and cozy read, so I'm really excited to get into it. Update. I am finally done with The Holiday Swap by Maggie Knox, and let me just say now, if you come here for deep intellectual thought about books, you probably will not find it. This book probably does not deserve the rating that I'm giving it, but I am giving this book 4 stars. It was cozy, it was fun, I'm easily entertained. Fight me. Okay. It was fun, and the double romance was cute. I thought that the message of, sometimes returning back home is good for you. I liked that. Honestly, very cheesy, very Hallmark, but cozy, and just what I wanted from a Christmas romance. Like, it's exactly what you would expect. It's predictable, and sometimes predictable is good, especially when life is chaotic. So I am giving this book 4 stars, and we are moving on with our lives. Bear with me, my congestion is a little rough, so I'm sorry for my voice. The next book on my list is Christmas in Spite of You. This has come available on my Libby 2 or 3 times, but I keep postponing it because I want to wait till Christmas. So now that I'm in the Christmas spirit, I'm ready to read it. I thought that this was like a really trending book based on the cover and the description, and it sounded so good. But actually, there's not very many ratings on Goodreads. I have seen it in some Atlanta bookstores though, so I'm thinking maybe this is a Atlanta local, especially because it's set in Atlanta. So that would be exciting. I'm definitely gonna have to look that up to find out. From what I've seen so far, the female main character post her apartment on Airbnb or shared space or something like that for the Christmas season because she's planning on going home. However, her plans fall through, and of course she stays home for the week but does not cancel the listing. So she's having to share the apartment with the person who rented it for the week, and I'm assuming they're going to fall in love, yada yada yada. But typical cheesy, tacky romances are what I want at this season, so I'm hoping it is just as cheesy as I am picturing it to be. This is a fairly short book, and I really don't have a lot going on today, so I think I'm just gonna sit and go straight through it, and I'll let you guys know what I think. I am burning through this book right now. I really do enjoy all the side characters and the side relationships that the female main character has. Her best friend is hilarious. I love her. She has a great relationship with the guy who works the front desk and all these other people. She's kind of one of those people who just makes friends with everyone and is so easily loved and just joyful. So I really enjoy the main character, and the love interest is very rigid and analytical, and he's not like rude. He's still a kind person. He's just very to himself and just a little bit more type A, and she's very much type B. So I think I'm going to enjoy the dynamic of it all. I do have a question of how this would work out if they do end up together, because he is traveling, obviously, for work, and they live in two completely different cities. They're also in two completely different financial brackets, which, I mean, that isn't always a bad thing, but a lot of times it can cause chaos in a relationship. So I'm kind of interested to see how they will work that out, because based on how this book is written, like, I know a happy ending is going to happen, and it feels like it's happening quickly. So somewhere in here, there's got to be some sort of tension, and I'm wondering if that's where it will come from. Okay, I just finished Christmas in Spite of You by Casey Mills, and that is the first time I finished a book that fast. Oh. Okay, my power is back. Sorry about that. It was quick, it was fun, it was cheesy, everything you want from a little romance book. I couldn't get a straight direct answer on whether or not she lives in Atlanta currently, but you can definitely assume that she lives here now and or spends a lot of time here, because I did see that it said that she writes scripts for productions in Atlanta, which, knowing that she writes scripts explains so much of this book, because this felt like you were watching a TV show. Like, the dialogue felt very Hallmark Christmas TV show. Like, it was very, I don't want to say flat, because it wasn't flat, but it was just a little bit surface level for me. So that was one complaint of the book. Like, I just felt like that could have had a little bit more depth. But then learning that she writes scripts, I was like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. That's what I would expect from, like, a TV show script. For me, it had a little too much, if you know what I'm saying. But this is a PG channel, so we're not going to talk about it. There was one point where I was driving to work, and the entire drive to work, it was still happening. So for me, that was a little much. For these reasons, I'm rating it 3.5. Overall, I was still really impressed, especially with this being a newer rising author. I can see that she's going to be someone that I enjoy, so I want to read more of her books later on in the future. I am actually already 56% of the way through our next Christmas book, and this is The Most Wonderful Crime of the Year, which I thought was such a funny title. I didn't want another romance, so I tried to track something else down. This is a mystery with a subplot of romance. So I was like, that'll work for me. This is very much like a tacky Agatha Christie mystery, but right now there's no dead body. There's no actual dead person. There's someone missing, and there has been attempted murders, but there's no dead person. So I'm kind of interested to see if this is all a test or what. So let me tell you what's happened so far. The main character is an author of crime novels. She gets invited to a weekend away, an event, I guess you could say, with her arch nemesis from the same publisher. And she just does not like his writing style. They've always been against each other. He never remembers her name, all these issues, right? They get invited to her favorite author's house for this weekend, and they go to dinner and they meet all these people, and she's just, starstruck. They wake up the next day and this celebrity author is missing. They go up to her office and it is locked from the inside, and she's the only one that has the key, but the key is left in there, and it's really, really confusing. So they don't know where she is, but there's no dead body, okay? Remember that. She starts picking up all these clues and seeing stuff that she's like, oh, this is from this book, this is from this book, and starts to think that it's a test and that this author is retiring and is wanting to leave her legacy in good hands. So she's thinking, oh, I'm going to pass this test. I'm her biggest fan. But suddenly people are like shooting at her, and then someone's trying to poison someone else, and it's just getting really intense. So I'm not sure if someone's actually going to die. I'd be okay if no one did. But it is interesting to see the romance subplot go on. Of course, enemies to lovers. And also see her track down all the clues from the books. But yeah, right now I'm really enjoying it. It's very tacky mystery. I have about 3 hours left in the book, so I'm probably just going to burn through it right quick. It is very, very good banter, and I'm liking it so far. I do have a few chore things that I need to get done before I can sit down and read. So we'll finish those, and then we're going to get started reading. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. So something I really like about this book is that it will put in little snippets of things from the actual investigation. Like whenever I was listening to the audiobook, it would put in recordings from the police interviews, and then just now I just got to a police transcript, and it's another interview. So it's kind of nice to see it both in the audiobook and in the text form. I think for me, I prefer the audiobook just for these exact pieces because it's kind of nice to hear it like a real tape recorder. Okay, I just finished The Most Wonderful Crime of the Year. And let me just say, this was not giving the Christmas energy like the last two were. Like, it has Christmas tree on the cover. I feel like you could have brought up some more Christmas stuff. However, the book itself was fun. I'm going to give this book 4 stars. This felt very much like Knives Out, very whodunit, and it was interesting, and I liked all the little crime elements of it. There was a poisoned greenhouse and poisoned tea and blah, blah, blah. So it was fun to read. I just think it could have been a little bit more Christmassy for how it was marketed, but the subplot of the romance was good. The twist at the end, I absolutely did not catch on to, and honestly, a lot of times I don't catch on to the twist. Stuff just goes over my head because I'm just enjoying myself. But the twist I thought was very good and very unexpected. So yeah, overall 4 stars for this book. That wraps up our week of Christmas-themed books, and I only got through 3 books this week. I had a lot going on, but overall, honestly, really good selection for the week. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here. Let me know in the comments what you're reading now and what I should read next. I'll see you next time on Books with Beck. Love you. Bye.
Book Husband here. Like and subscribe. Love you. Bye.